Let's get this show on the road. This non-dual show, or whatever you want to call it. So welcome everybody. Chris, Maria Rodriguez, Garrett. Let me let in Adar, Patricia, Rosa, sweetheart, Michael, my brother from the LA. Don, I love to see your face, my man. Don't hide there in the dark. Adar, nice to see you.
And a big hello from Constance. She is flying over the clouds. He greets all of us.
So welcome everybody to tonight's meeting, open Zoom meeting. Yeah, this is it. Here we are again, so to say, in front of a computer, sitting and listening. And let me see, I have to let somebody in before I forget. So that's just basically simply whatever is happening. You know, sitting in a hotel room and doing a Zoom meeting and seeing some familiar faces and being curious what's going on there is already just simply this. That's just what's happening. Curiosity, how it's going with Rosa, and I see Gilan, how it is with Gilan and Hadar. Just innocently arising, the interest, you know, to want to listen to the stories. It's just innocently this. Hey, Tony. And it's the same with seeking. You know, seeking, laughing, crying, hating, wanting, needing. It all just simply is already me-less. There's no one behind the seeking as a separated seeker. There's no one behind the wants, no one behind the needs. There's no one in this body talking. There's just sounds being produced. There's no one separated inside this, making the sounds. There's no one behind the ears hearing this as a separated you, doing the moving of the ear, listening. That's just simply whatever is happening. Loving all the faces on the screen. And yeah, this is it. And anything may happen. Joy or agony or what the hell are you talking about? I'm getting bored by now. It's the same message again. I don't like it. Well, that's it too. There's just simply the directness of whatever is happening. As is the idea that there's a doer. You know, there may be a sense, well, I'm doing this, Sander. Well, that's innocently this already. The so-called feeling that there's a you doing this, or the belief that there's a you doing this, is already you-less. There's no one doing that belief as a separated believer. And there's no one doing the belief as a separated doer. Neither is there anyone owning this. There's no one separated owning this body, owning these words, owning anything. There's just the directness of whatever is happening. Sitting in a Zoom, listening, wondering, maybe some tiredness. Here there was a rushing to do the meeting because I'm in a hotel. I have a training from the work. So I rushed from the dinner table to to do this meeting. Quite ruthless. Well, guys, I have to go. I'm going to chat with some friends. Already now? Yeah, already now. That's it. No beer, Sander? No, no beer. That's just simply what's happening. Excusing to go somewhere. It's just innocently flowing out. Excuses, saying I have to go somewhere. There's no one separated going anywhere. It's just the body moving around, producing sounds, performing activities. That's just simply what's happening, or what seems to be happening, or what is believed to be happening. So this is it. Anyone wants to share something, or not agreeing, or whatever?
I simply want to say, sweetheart, so beautiful that you made it. I had those ideas. Oh, maybe he is now saying to the colleagues, sorry, guys, I have to go. And I was wondering, what is he going to say? Why? What is so important that you have to leave it here? Well, because I'm doing a Zoom meeting about non-duality.
Well, it was funny because during the eating there was like a keeping track of the time, to the main course. Oh shit, maybe I don't make it. It's just what's happening. Thinking, will I make it or not? It's just popping up. There's no one behind the thought, or behind the so-called. It's not stress. There was no stress in that sense, but there was like a curiosity. Will I make it on time? When will the dinner come? Do I have to leave between the main course and the dessert? And to say I have to go. It all just innocently happens. Yeah, that's it. So I'm wondering, anyone want to share something? Chris, how are you doing?
Yeah,
What's up?
good. Yeah, yeah, I guess I could share something. It kind of seemed to happen a few days ago while I was just sitting here working. Um, I talked last time about like this constant discontentment, and it had just kind of been compounding. It felt as though like it was just kept continually getting worse, and it started to really paralyze this body employee from getting anything done, getting any work done. And so it was constantly worrying, like, oh my God, you're gonna get fired. Like you can't get anything done. What's wrong with you? Like what's and something just so subtle happened. Like, and it was just like, I don't know how it happened or what happened, but it was just like kind of seemed that like, oh my God, you're such a child. Like this is this is I mean this is it. This is why would you want this to be anything other than it can't be anything other than already what it is. So what is it that you want? Like what I mean like, um and it was just such a subtle change. Um and I don't even and it was so simple that I felt kind of silly that I had been falling for that for so long. I think it's still seems to kind of slip back into that, but then it's kind of seeing like, oh yeah, that's what you're doing. you're just wanting this to be something other than what it is already. But how can it really be that? Be what be that it's already is what it is already. Yeah, like I mean, you would think that like you would think that would be so easy to see. I don't know what it is about this that finds that difficult to remain there, and to not be duped into thinking that this should be something other than what it already is.
Yeah, and it's hard to remain somewhere in the absence of a you. I mean, it's hard to stay in a certain mode when there's no you already in a certain mode, so to say. There's just what's happening, including the going back and forth and the idea, well, I'm slipping out of it. I mean, that's it too. But there's no one slipping in or out. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no in and out. There's just simply what's happening, so to say. But yeah, it's completely innocent. The whole thing, you know. I'm not getting stuff done. You know, this so-called idea or belief that or the fear, maybe I will get fired. You know, it's just falling like rain. You know, that
Well, it
just
was that wanting it to be something different was what was causing me from really getting anything done, like from really taking any kind of action somehow. I don't understand how, but once, um, once it was kind of seen, I guess, it wasn't much of a problem anymore, and some work was able to be done. you know, again, it wasn't so. I mean, it wasn't so paralyzing anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. I think there's still a struggle a bit here, but it was kind of nice to see that, and then just to see how innocent it was, to see how simple it really is, that this isn't really anything. This is that I've made this into something that it's really not.
beautiful.
And yeah, and so I feel like right now that there's just kind of an attentiveness to not make this into something again, like I have been. So like another thing I hear like a lot of speakers talk about too is just like once this is kind of once it's really seen that this is it, that this is all there is, that there never was a me, that they speak of this newness, that they see everything like it's brand new. And and I guess when I hear them talk about that newness, I think of that childlike wonder. Like when you're a child and you see things for the first time, you're like, oh wow, that's amazing. Like, and you just look at everything and you just have like this awe, this wonder, like, but that doesn't really happen here. It's everything's just kind of neutral, and I always thought that like,
Yeah.
maybe it'll come, I don't know, but yeah, like I kind of want that. Like I want to just like walk in the park and look at things and be like, oh man, this is just so amazing. Like I don't know, I've never known what this is, but that hasn't happened here yet, and I don't know why, but
So you're waiting for the boom.
yes.
But so the waiting for the boom is already the boom. So this waiting for it to start shining all of a sudden, that the tree becomes, something special, still a tree or whatever, is already just simply this. The expectations for this to be in a certain way when, now. So I'm pretty close, but yeah, still something needs to happen, right? That's
Yeah.
already just simply this. The tree is
Yeah.
still the tree. I'm not there
That's
yet.
still
I'm
me trying to
missing
make it
some.
into something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, expectations, they fall equally just like rain, having an idea, well, then and then, when this, then that, is this already. So the expectations that this would feel differently or taste differently or would be seen differently, that itself is already just innocently this. The assumptions, the conclusions,
Mm.
it's this already.
Yeah.
It's the disappointment. I mean, even to be, is it just this? Son, you cannot say it's just this.
It's always just this. Yeah. Can't be anything other than what is already. Yeah. It's silly.
I mean, insecurities or anxiety or, wondering or expectations, it all just tumbles down. There's no one.
I didn't think I would feel foolish.
Foolish?
Yeah. Like this is yeah, I mean, like I said, like I feel like a little kid, like I was just completely ignorant.
Yeah. Well, in a way, we can say there's just ignorance, but there's no one being ignorant. Or not. There's just simply whatever is happening. Ignorance, knowing, not knowing, wondering, not wondering. But there's no one owning it or doing it. As a
Yeah, I mean, there's no one. So there's no one separate from this. There's
yeah,
just simply this. There's yeah.
yeah, and you even feeling separated, like, well, I feel separate, is already not separate. Feeling separate is not separate from feeling separate. It's just what is.
Mm,
Feeling
mm.
separate is just full on this. It's not separated from this. It's just what is, so to say. Feeling not complete is already completely this. So feeling incomplete is already complete in a way. It's completely feeling incomplete. Anyone else wants to throw in the dice or want to say something? I like the openness there, Chris. And there's nothing wrong. It's just simply what's happening, you know. Well, I thought it would be like this, or you know,
Mm.
some speakers are saying it's going to be like that, and I'm still
So yeah,
waiting.
it's obvious that obviously that yeah, that was my interpretation. In my story that I thought this was going to be something. This is going to be yeah. It was romanticized. It was um, turned into enlightenment or something else. You know that sounds pretty and wonderful and heavenly. Which you know, I'm not saying that those aren't good descriptors of this, but it's not just that. It's not can't just be that. Not limited to that.
Maybe I want to add something to this. I here's this in loveness with simplicity, and I would simply say it's not worth mentioning even.
Mm.
Everything is it already.
Yeah, I mean, anything can arise. Needs, wants,
Yeah.
likes, dislikes, preferences. It's not that the so-called non-duality speaker is laughing the whole day, you know. When he loses his job, maybe it's the shit. I lost my job. Ah, fuck. That's not good. Anything may happen. Worrying, natural. Wondering, what shall I do when I don't have a job? Seeking for a new job may happen innocently. Trying to earn money, just naturally this already. There's no one doing this already. There's just a so-called body having certain needs like food. I mean, some seem to say that as long as there's a need, there's a me. But they're just simply needs. But the needs are not for anyone. There's no one separated having a need or owning a need. So we cannot say that the need is the me. Needs are innocent. They're just, you're the need for food, the need for shelter, the need for love, or the absence of those needs. But there's no one separated having the needs. There's no one already trying to get what he or she need. It's already me-less. Whatever's happening, the needs, the wants, the likes, the dislikes, the longing, the ideas, the expectations. Thinking there's a me is already me-less. There's no one doing the belief or the sensation that there is a me. No one is doing the feeling of a me or the absence of that feeling. Just naturally, organically, just this. Whatever. Crying, screaming. And this may change, you know, from having a lot of needs, one day maybe less needs or practically no needs. You know, the need to earn a lot of money may just simply drop one day. And then there's maybe, well, you know, I don't care so much about money anymore. When I have enough to eat or whatever, then it's okay. It may just simply change. But needs don't change for anyone. They don't fall away for you or me. Garrett, my friend, how are you doing?
Yes, not too bad. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Any words tonight? Any things there you want to share?
Well, it's very hard for me to say things just like that. So I had to write a few things down on a paper.
You want to share with us?
Well, if you're desperate, no one else wants to speak before me, they're welcome to. But
Garrett, you're right. It almost sounds with Zander like he's totally desperate.
Beautiful, yeah?
Well, I had to write a few things down, or I won't be able to say what I want to say. But I was thinking about one-to-ones. One of the speakers offered me a one-to-one a couple of years ago, and it took about 2 hours. And she was a lovely speaker, and you know her very well. And I asked many, many questions to her, and the only answer that she gave was, there's only this. So I thought it was a bit of a waste of time. That was 2 years ago, I think, on a Sunday evening, and so I don't see there's much point in having another one-to-one with a speaker again, because I've given all my questions over and over again, and unless the speaker has a new answer, then I'm not going to get any more, am I? Unless the next speaker has a different approach and wants to ask me questions, but it doesn't go very far, does it, really? But
No.
yeah, so that was about it.
Beautiful, yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Not
I have heard a few speakers between the gentleman from Canada and the students, if you like, and they often seem to be marvelous. The outcome is great. The one-to-one has taken place, and the student is you know, love in the hands and great, everything was fine, and I got it. But I think I must have heard 6 or a dozen of them, and but I just don't know how it works. It's like magic.
Well, me neither. So I think we can shake hands. I have no clue how it works.
It does seem to work. What do you say?
Well, I have no clue how it works. So I'm not able to share you how it works.
But it does work, but we don't know how it works.
Well, yeah, we can say it works, and it doesn't work at the same time. I mean, right? I mean, anything can happen. Sorry, Tony. You want to say something? I saw your hand quickly moving.
Yes, yes. Thank you for the sharings. And I would say that here, there's only the unknowing. Each time is wow, this unknowing, and nothing is needed. There's any need for happiness, any need for, it may seem to have sometimes some need for putting words together, resonating and enjoying, but there's not any need. There's not happiness. Ups and downs are included, because really there's only this, and this is enough. There are not words. This is enough, the unknowing that all encompasses. Encompasses even sometimes this need to be better, and sometimes this need to share with someone or put beautiful words together, but it is not needed, it's not needed. And knowing is enough, all encompasses. That's joy. Well, joy or not joy, that's this, and that's enough.
Thanks for sharing, Tony. I mean, there's nothing wrong with needs. Needs are just needs. I mean, what's the problem with needs?
No, not at all.
You know, needing a friend or needing money or love or whatever. It's just what's happening, so to say. There's nothing dirty with needs. There may be an idea, well, when I have less needs, then I'm very close, because those so-called speakers don't seem to have needs. Well, I bet they have needs. They don't have a tree in the garden where money is growing, probably, so. You know, needs are just needs. There's no one having a needs. There's no separated one having a needs.
And maybe also about what Tony mentioned, the unknown. Not knowing is enough. Nothing wrong with knowing.
No,
Nothing wrong with knowing.
knowing is just knowing. I mean, we can play the I don't know game, but yeah, it becomes very quickly boring to say I don't know anything, and at the same time you know how to go to the toilet and put food in your mouth. I mean, there's no separated knower. Knowing is just knowing. If you loan me $30 and I give you 25, you're going to say, well, where's the other 5? You know what 30 is. I mean, to say I don't know anything or nobody knows anything is just another knowing. You can play the not knowing game for a long time, but it doesn't change anything.
Nothing changes anything.
No. saying nobody knows anything is just another knowing. Who knows that no one knows everything? Here there is knowing, but there's no knower. There's no separated knower. It's the same with saying nothing is happening. I bet there's no one here who's going to say to his kids or to his father or family members who are sick and maybe dying that you're not going to sit with their bed and say, well, nothing is happening. You don't have cancer. I mean, these so-called non-dual phrases, they seem to be funny sometimes, but I bet most of the so-called people joining this meeting will not say to their best friend, well, nothing is happening when they just lost their kid. There's just compassion or helping or reaching out or whatever, innocently. I mean, at the same time, there's nothing wrong with saying that there's nothing happening. It's equally just this. Saying there's something happening or there's nothing happening is just this. There's no one behind it. Just words dancing around freely without a separated doer. Mark, you look serious. What's up? You trying to get it?
Oh, I was actually crying for the last 30 minutes, and I don't even know why. Yeah, there's a lot of sadness coming up. Yeah,
Full on sadness. Full
Sadness.
on sadness. What a beauty, Mark.
Yeah.
What a beauty. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, it's natural. I mean, being sad.
It's just this, full on.
Yeah. You know, everyone knows sadness. Sadness is sadness. There's nothing wrong with it.
After those crying sessions, I feel always so good. I love it. You know, it comes and goes and comes and goes. Everything is it.
Yeah. You know, being sad is natural. There's nothing wrong with it. And there may be an idea, well, when I get there, then there will be no sadness anymore. But there's nothing wrong with sadness. Sadness is just sadness. And there may be a sense it's my sadness, it's wrong, it's stupid. Why am I sad again? That's already just this, you know, what's happening. So taking sadness personally is already impersonally this. Yeah, Mark.
I'm with you, Marky boy.
Yeah.
We stay in touch.
You know, and there may be a sense, well, you know, of caring or compassion, you know, when somebody starts crying, you know, the sense I want to help the guy. You know, even if there's no separated me or you know, having compassion is this too. It's natural. Adar, sweetheart. Anything popping up there you want to share?
Just enjoying and seeing, you know, watching how beautiful it is, you know, just everything comes up. There is kind of a vulnerability. It's beautiful. And somehow what appears sometimes that there is wanting to block all whatever comes up, you know, this filter that wants to block everything. Maybe you can call it the me, and when this kind of like drop, this idea that things needs to be blocked, so everything comes up so beautifully, and it's just enjoyment, you know, to see that whatever expressed, it's okay.
Yeah.
So when seeing Mark, it's beautiful, you know. This is why maybe sometimes they call it putting the head in the lion's mouth, because it's going all the way, full on this.
No escape.
No escape.
Yeah, you know, and even the trying to not to cry, you know, or to hide it may happen.
Yeah, of course.
Try to swallow it away. I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry. I turn my camera off. Or just letting it go. It's already innocent. There's no one trying not to cry. It's just an innocent trying not to cry, but there's no separated someone doing the crying or trying not to cry. It's equally just this, the directness of whatever's happening, crying, and yeah, it's beautiful. I like the head in the lion's mouth.
There is kind of a fear to go all the way sometimes because it feels very real. But somehow you go full, it's like nobody's going, but when it's full on expressed, it's filled with a lot of love, you know. There's nothing really happening. So this is why I say it feels like you put the head in the lion's mouth, but there's no lion really, and there's no you. But it's a full-on expression, something that just need to bloom in a way, and then it's like poof, gone.
Yeah, beautiful. We're also sending hearts the whole time.
Well, innocently so, I cannot help it.
Well, it's funny because, of course, we can say, well, I cannot help it. But you can just keep your hands from the, when I say show your hand, you can do this, like everybody can show this, you know. But there's no one doing that. There's no one asking it and holding up the hand. So then maybe, you know, you can try to hide and say, well, I cannot do anything. I cannot help it. Well, in a way, you can't. You can help it. But there's just no separated you. But you can move your hand up and down, but there's no one doing it as a separated you. It's just a body following instructions, but there's no one there inside, separated. In the control room, moving the joystick.
I'm thinking about my dogs all the time. This natural movement. It's been raining a lot here, and the dogs had to stay home a lot. And sometimes the rain stops and the sun comes out, and it's like natural feeling that they go out and just sit outside. They don't just move, you know. They have this just like natural impulse to go out and sit while there's no rain. And this is like there's nobody there, you know. They just like the need to go out and sit. It's not even a need. It's so natural. They just go. and they will stay outside, you know, they smell the air. You know, you cannot explain that, why they will do it, but they're just doing it. It feels so good for them, so they go.
Yeah, it's fun.
And, you know, yeah.
It's funny how there seems to be, you know, like innocent projecting how the dogs would feel, and you know, and how they think.
I don't know how they feel. It just like it's there is like this impulse to go out and to stay outside because there's no rain and the sun comes out. It's just like an impulse.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's natural, right?
Yeah.
Killing a zebra, like a lion killing a zebra when it comes by or whatever.
When they see the rabbit, you know, they get very, you know, and they start to look and the body change and they run, and it's all happen naturally.
Yes. Yeah, we can say it's all naturally this already.
Yeah.
Crying, laughing, natural. Liking, not liking, wants, preferences, needs. It's quite natural to want some food at one point, or to have some oxygen, get some fresh air.
Like the cat is gonna go to eat a mouse outside, you know, he's a killer, gonna kill birds and everything, and then this beautiful cat you're just like cuddling and he's so cute and sweet and everything, this little killer.
Yeah.
Mm. Doesn't mean I'm gonna cuddle with a killer, with a human killer. That's
Well,
not gonna show. That's not gonna come up here.
well, you don't know, but yeah, probably.
Mm.
I mean, it's hard to know. Maybe at one point, you know, there seems to be so-called characters who write, you know, the guy sitting on death row. You know, there are a lot of guys getting letters, you know, from females.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah, you know, they maybe want to cuddle the guy. He's sitting there on death row, you know. I
It
know,
does happen. We hear many stories about, you know,
yeah,
women that get in touch with the prisoners and they even have kids with them, and they have like a fantasy, you know, kind of a idea about it also.
yeah. Even when they are on death row, I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty, it's pretty like endless there when you sit there. It's not, yeah,
It's like having the tiger in a cage, you know. You're near the tiger's mouth, but it is in a cage.
yeah, beautiful, yeah, yes, yeah. Well, basically anything can happen. You know, going to Zoom meetings, for example, or not going anymore. Anything may happen. Yeah. I mean, how many of the so-called people here knew maybe 5 years ago or whatever, 10 years ago, that at one point there was a joining of Zoom meetings to talk about, I mean, nothing and at the same time everything. Or certain interest to do something or not. It's hard to know what's next. Michael,
Michael. Michael, sweetheart, what's up there? What's going on?
What's up, everybody? What's going on? I'm just enjoying the show, right? Boom.
Boom!
Yeah, what a joy. Whether it's I'm getting there or just out and out sadness, just gut-wrenching sadness, crying your eyes out on a Zoom, giving no fucks.
Laughing at the same time. Laughing and crying may happen.
Oh yeah, I know, it's so good.
Yeah, already there's no one to drop away or get anything. No one's separate already.
Here, there's an idea that everything is sadness. There's not anything else. All there is sadness. What? There's sadness has nothing foreign or out of in order to see the sadness, no? Or one opposite. No. Everything is sadness. And that's okay. It's not serious, it's only sadness.
Tony, you mean when there is only sadness, there is no problem with this because there needs to be two. There needs to be someone who has a problem with the sadness, right? Otherwise, it's simply full-on sadness.
Well, having a problem with sadness is this too.
Yeah, of course. What else? No escape.
You know, maybe there's a, well, shit, why did I cry on the Zoom? Why?
And maybe there is, who cares?
Ah, who cares? Yes.
Who cares?
Maybe this guy is crying, you know, he's the real deal. He can cry in a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
God. So here there was something in the chat. Hi, Sander, on the screen. Many faces in a Zoom meeting are visible, yet there's no one actually looking at them. No. There's no one actually separated as a separated looker. It's just looking. There's no one doing it. It's like a field of flowers with no one present to appreciate their beauty. Yet, there they are in all their radiance, along with thoughts, feelings, emotions, and all the senses. Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Albert. Yeah. There's no one present. There's no one doing the looking. Dawn. You're turned on black, but I was wondering how Dawn is doing.
Dawn is doing okay. Although Dawn thinks this stuff is silly today.
Oh, great. Beautiful.
Yeah. So there's one vote over here that this is silly. silly and what's the other word I'd have to say? It's silly and just not true.
Great.
Not true. That's what's coming on.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue.
Oh no, there's nothing to argue with.
Well, you know, arguing can happen, you know, but yeah, that's it. I think it's silly. Yeah, I agree.
I resonate with that.
I mean,
So I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here right now.
Yeah. What the hell are we fucking doing here, Don? I don't know. It's kind of fun talking to people like you, really.
well, it's quite obvious that it's just talking and sharing. I mean, it doesn't lead to anywhere. You know, nothing is promised here. No big, you know, nothing in the end. There's no promise of, yeah, well, it will be much better, or when this happened, then that. No, it's just a guy crying. Some people are sharing things, you know, that they find it silly. Wondering what the hell am I doing here tonight? It's already just this. Why am I here? You know, probably Netflix was much more interesting. God damn, you know, I'm here again. I should have watched football, right, Garrett? Football was more interesting, maybe. You know, that's it. That, you know, there's just simply nothing on offer here. This is it. Sitting, you know, getting bored maybe, or finding it silly, or
My wife is watching on the Netflix right now.
yeah.
He likes watching these UFOs.
You want to join?
No, I don't like UFOs. It's even worse than this.
Yeah, beautiful.
I
Yeah.
was going to say one other little thing. I wrote it on my paper, but it's harder to speak. I don't know which is harder to speak or read from the paper. One's as hard as the other for me because there's a stroke. But I don't know if it's got anything to do with non-duality and getting there. But a couple of years ago, I woke up one morning. I threw down the blankets, and before I got up, and I just looked at my feet, and I was shocked. I looked at my left foot and said to myself, "That's not my foot. It just did not seem like my foot." I was, you know, shocked, and maybe after a couple of minutes, it went back to normal. But it is as if it is somebody else's. You know, it is just.
Yeah.
I wonder, have you come across that with non-duality?
Well, anything can happen. There are people thinking it's not my body. You know, it doesn't feel like my body. You know.
Well, this was only just the left foot. That's all. But it was strange, really strange.
There are actually people trying to amputate limbs because they don't feel like it's there.
Oh.
You know, they go to a doctor and say, well, it doesn't feel like my leg. It's strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I've never had that before, just at one occasion. Really strange.
You know, and talking about it in a Zoom meeting, like, is this already, like, you guys, I had something strange a couple of years ago. I saw my foot and I was having a sensation that it was not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, it just plays freely. There's no one thinking, well, I'm going to tell in 5 minutes that for 5 years ago, I was thinking that my foot was not mine. It's just popping out, Garrett, right? It's just,
Well, only that one occasion.
yeah, but I mean, the telling it, the talking about it in a Zoom meeting. You know, there's no one saying, well, I'm going to say this in 5 minutes. It's just what comes.
Well, I did partly know because I wrote it on the paper
Ah,
yesterday.
okay, yeah, you didn't tell us.
A little
Yeah,
bit of advance.
beautiful, yeah. But I mean, okay. Just what's happening, write it on paper. You know, I'm going to say this tonight or not.
No. Since having the stroke, the wrong words come out. And if I write it down on the paper and try and read them, it still comes out wrong. So,
Well, yeah, saying it's, you know, saying, I mean, wrong words. I mean, what are wrong words compared to right words? What is wrong and what is right?
my daughter got married in April, and I was unable to make a speech because I would bugger it all up, you know. But I was quite glad. I was quite glad that we decided that I wouldn't say a word because I could enjoy the occasion more by not making a speech in the middle of it. You know, it spoils the day a little bit. You're a bit nervous.
Yeah. Well, it's natural to be nervous, right?
Well, I'm always nervous. When I didn't used to turn on my video when I attended these Zooms, even many years ago with the others, and never turned my video on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't speak. I would just chat in the chatting thing, you know, and what do you call it when you write down and leave a little message back and forth, that sort of thing.
In the chat, yeah.
Chat, yeah.
Like Albert was doing. Albert was sending.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I used to be very nervous, even type in the chat.
Yeah, but you know, it's funny, you know, when there's a doing this meeting, so to say, even, you know, here there can be a slightly nervous, you know, it's natural. Like going to the dentist and being nervous or whatever, going to a doctor, or, you know, seeing your new job or whatever, you know.
Well, in my old job many years ago, one of my part of the job was to speak in front of the team, and I could not stand that. I had to take a sip of vodka just to settle down a little bit, and
Yeah.
but then later on, I worked on my own, and I felt much better then. You know, I don't like being in a lot of people around me.
Yeah, there's nothing fancy about being nervous. Nothing fancy about it. Being nervous is just being nervous. You
Yeah.
know, and trying to not be nervous by taking vodka is as innocently as the being nervous. You know, the trying to I should work on myself, I should be less nervous is already, you know, selfless. There's no one doing it.
No, it's a pity to have that situation. Well,
Yeah, I mean, pity. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. what is pity about it?
Yeah, some people are very confident, some are not. That's
Yeah.
the way the cookie.
Crumbles.
Yeah, beautiful, Garrett. That's just the way
Yes,
the cookie crumbles.
that's how the cookie crumbles, you know?
It's always what it is. Being
Yeah.
nervous, not being nervous, maybe being like I was totally nervous. I can remember now it's popping up when you mentioned this. The first Zoom meetings I had, I was totally nervous. Of course, I was without picture. And there was no thinking about booming out or stuff like this. And this may change. And this is so naturally, you know, this is just no matter what, it's just playing out in all those beautiful characters totally differently. And yeah, this is cool.
You know?
Lovely.
The big Zooms with Emerson, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I enjoyed the part when the Zoom towards the end, it closed, but it allowed those attending to go into the
breakout room.
The breakout. And I think I've seen a lot of the people, you know, in the last few weeks that used to go into the what do you call it, the breakout room. That was the best part of it, I think. Just a few of you, 4 or 5, and not so nervous in the breakout.
Yeah, beautiful. This is exactly the opportunity for those who are not able in a way to express then afterwards without recording. Like, you know, sharing, and they're full on sharing then, you know. I attended only one. For me, the breakout rooms were boring, I have to admit, to confess. But yeah, it's beautiful. You see? So naturally playing out, and there is no need to boom out.
No. You know, and there may be a thought, well, what will those other people on the screen think of me? Maybe they think I say stupid things, or yeah, this may happen, you know. Thinking what other so-called characters are thinking is just innocently this.
Yes. Yeah. Some things I couldn't say, you know. I couldn't tell people that when I was a little boy, we didn't have a toilet, but we had to go down the bottom of the garden in the little shed. But that's not so popular now these days. It's a thing of the past generally, but not always.
Well, here in Sweden, many still have like a small house where you go and do your number 1 and 2.
Yes.
You know, to have such a thing somewhere in the garden. Nothing funny about it. But yeah, being ashamed, you know, being ashamed. I don't have a toilet.
No, I think I saw it on one of your videos, little videos. Just
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was with the camping place. There it's more natural, but I mean, now being ashamed is just this, you know, not wanting to say we don't have a toilet in our home. It's natural.
Yes, and the water coming from the well in those days, so I didn't get my first proper bath until I was about 13 or 14.
Michael is amazed. You see the eyes growing. Yeah, beautiful. Well, that's just simply the directness of whatever is happening. And there's no separated someone doing this. You're telling a story about not having a bathroom is already just simply this, sharing it. And then there's maybe wondering, whoa, oh my God, you know, the first bath when he was 13, shit. I was a lucky bastard, you know. We had a bathtub or whatever, you know, anything may happen. Comparing, you know, liking. thinking, oh, the poor bastard, you know, no bathroom, that's shitty. Just what's happening. Naturally. There's no one doing the thoughts. So I was wondering, Maria, maybe you want to share something. I don't know if you have interest talking. I don't know if you're here. You want to share something, Maria?
Hello?
Hello.
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 Yes, I'm a little nervous too, because I am quite shy. But yes, I would like to say that I have been hearing the communication or message for some months. And I like the way you express it in the sense that you don't speak about this contracted energy or me, and say already. So that for me is quite relaxing. But at the same time, I also feel sometimes like trapped because I am very used to escape reality with my mind. So, and now seeing that that's also this, it's like,
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, trying to escape this. Is this already? And yeah, we can. I mean, we can go talk about this contracted energy. You know, if there is a need. I mean, it's just not playing out here in that way. I mean, feeling like a me, I would say. So feeling like contracted. So there's really a me. And there's something which is life, and it's my life. And the so-called tension, you know, the so-called contracted energy, whatever it is, I have no clue, is already me-less. There's no one doing this contracted energy. You know, there's already no one doing the sense of a me. You know, feeling a certain tension and taking ownership for that tension and claiming that tension to be the me is already just me-less. There's no one doing that. That's what's happening. You know, there's no difference here between feeling like a me or feeling contracted or not. That's what's happening. Feeling tension, you know, the sense I am in the head, there's a me watching out through the eyes, is already just simply this. Having the sensation that I am inside this body, somewhere in the heart area or in the mind, you know, is this already.
but like some speakers say, like the I am sense is an illusion, or the feeling like a me is an illusion, and that's very confusing for me to understand, because I feel like even more self-conscious hearing that.
Yeah, you know, people say any types of things, that it's all an illusion or it's all a dream. I mean, it's funny, you know, it doesn't matter. If I say it's all an illusion, will this contraction just go away? This sense. I mean, we can call it real or unreal, or it doesn't matter so much. You can say it's just a dream. Who knows that it's a dream or real? It's just flipping coins from this is really happening to it's all a dream. It becomes just another thing, you know. Ah, it's all a dream. Wow, great. I thought it was real the whole time, and now I know it's just a dream. What a relief. It doesn't change anything. You can hit your finger with a hammer, and then What are you going to say? It's just a dream. There's no pain. It's just screaming. You know, hitting the finger with a hammer. There's just pain. Doesn't matter if it's real or unreal. I mean, calling this real or calling this a dream or calling it's an illusion or it's a fantasy. It's just this already.
May I add something to this?
Of course, Rosa.
Like loving the music channel, which is playing the music, there is no me, and the me is a contracted energy. And when the me drops, then that's it. Or loving this channel or not loving this channel, and loving here more this channel with this blah 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 is innocently happening. There is no one having a choice. It's just beautifully playing out, innocently so. And all those beautiful ideas and wondering, experimenting, inquiring. Yeah, what a beauty. What do you say, Maria? Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you know, it's with music, you know, you like certain things or not. You know, so there may be a liking of a certain speaker. You know, maybe before there was a liking of Eckhart Tolle, for example, or Muji or
Yes.
whatever. And then suddenly, Muji, Eckhart Tolle, no. Now it's Tony or Jim or Tim or whoever, you know. That's it. It's just the liking of this, and maybe tomorrow there's you know, I'm fed up. Let's go to Kenneth or whoever, you know. I'm going to listen there sometime, and then
Or maybe tomorrow Maria is going to perform herself and
yeah,
having beautiful others ideas and saying, wow, guys, you know, what a bullshit. Let me tell you, here is my music. Why not? It's the same. It's just blah, blah, blah.
start my own band.
Is it kind of, it kind of seems as though like we're just moving towards the message that needs to be heard. I mean, you know, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of how it feels like. Yeah, because there's just been constantly a moving towards different speakers, and one will resonate one day, and then the next they won't anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today it's Sander. Tomorrow it may not be Sander. It may
Yeah,
be something
beautiful.
else.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Of course, yes. Maybe back to Muji.
Or I've actually been listening to Eckhart Tolle again.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd go backwards to that again.
Well, it's funny,
But
you
it's
know.
actually quite beautiful. Actually, like going back to like listening to some of the speakers that you listened to many, many years ago. Like I think it was probably like 7, 8 years ago when I first heard Eckhart Tolle. And going back and hearing some of this, like, oh wow, like wow, how did I miss that? Like,
Yeah.
you know, there was pointers there. There was pointers everywhere. Seemed.
Yeah, it's, you know, there's just bodies producing a certain type of sound. You know, we can call it music, and then there's a liking of that sound or not, or for a short while, and then there's a moving on and maybe back and forth. Just what's happening. There's no difference, you know. There's no little Eckhart Tolle there in the body doing the softness and the small laughing, moving quietly, you know. Yeah, it's just, you know, there's a liking or not. So here there's no trying to persuade anyone, you know. There's not the selling. Like, yeah, this is it, you know. I mean, as this is the truth. Saying there's just this, you know, is just saying there's just this. There's no difference between saying there's just this, or saying there's a God in the sky, and then maybe you're resonating with this so-called message or not. That's it. You like it, you don't like it, you love it, you hate it, you like it for some time. Great. There's no, I mean, there's nothing to teach. But in a way, you know, saying there's nothing to teach is in a way just another teaching. That there's nothing to teach is just the teaching that there's nothing to teach. You hear some speakers say, well, you know, I'm not the teacher. Well, so you teach us now what a teacher is. It's just words dancing around, and then there's a liking of these words. And the words are just innocently swirling around, and there, as is the liking for the words or not. So Albert was writing something. Let me read it. Empty as ripples on a river in a dream, yet a hand placed in it feels the coolness and wetness. Yeah. And not trying to put your hand on a burning stove is just innocently this. Trying to be happy. There's no one trying to be, there's no separated someone trying to be happy or not. Just innocently this. As is the seeking may just simply stop. Like the waking up in the morning, there's no one saying, well, in 10 minutes, I'm going to open my eyes and then my day will start. No, there's just opening of the eyes and then putting on some clothes, doing some things. And then maybe an innocent claiming ownership. This is me, you know, the sense of a me is just me-less and innocent. There's no one behind it. There's no one claiming ownership. There's no one doing the identifying with the foot or not. Don, you look like the thinker, so and you.
Yeah. I'm just thinking I want to go turn on Netflix.
Great.
And I have wanting to do that for the last hour, but
great.
Because that would be better than this, but but then as I think, okay, go over, turn on Netflix, good movie I was watching, and it's like, but then I might miss the answer to all this. So I got to stay here, because what if I go to Netflix now and I miss the answer? If you guys come up with it, if something profound gets said. So I'm stuck. I feel like it's like glue. I'm glued.
I love
Oh, Don, I love it. Hey, boy, listen. I will make it short for you and easy. I will give you now the essence, and you can go and watch your Netflix. So it is the boom. So it's done, sweetheart. You can go.
There's no one here choosing to be here either.
Well,
choosing
the funny thing is, if you're here, Dawn, then that'll be this. And if you go watch Netflix, that'll also still be this.
But, and in all that, when will I get it?
I love, you know, I love Don. I just, you know, innocent. I love him. That's how it is. I like him. We met at a meeting, you know, and then he started apologizing because there was an innocent idea that he was quite rough reacting when I was.
I can remember. I can remember the first collide from Don and Sander. I loved it. I loved it.
No, and
this was love on first sight.
Yeah, I just, you know, and last week you were telling about the hateful relationship you have with the so-called non-dual message. You know, it feels like there's a hateful relationship back and forth, and I'm not going to watch it anymore, you know, and then let me just peep in. Yeah, beautiful. You know, wanting to get it, you know, and thinking, well, maybe something, you know, interesting will be said and that it will help me, is already just this, you know, the longing and the hoping. I don't want to miss something, is already just this.
Seems like it's just a constant unveiling that there is no answer over and over again.
Or maybe, Chris, the question is it already? Over and over again. You cannot miss it.
Yeah.
The question, is it equally the answer? And the liking or the not liking of the answer. Like, what a shitty answer I get now, you know?
Yeah, I've never liked the answer.
No. Oh, yeah, beautiful, yes.
Look at Michael. He loves it. Amusing himself the whole time here.
Really, what a joy. Because it's just whatever is arising. So frustration is it, thinking I got it is it, thinking I'll never get it, I'll never get it.
We've
That's
got
it.
it all here.
Yeah, it's what a show. This
It's
is
all being expressed here, man. This is a show.
Now,
yeah, here is not seen as a shit show. That is not what's seen here. There's just beautiful, all of the expressions are this, all of them.
yeah,
Beautiful, Michael. Boom.
Yeah, beautiful.
it was funny because, you know, last week and also the week before, there was, I'm not going to do this Zoom meeting. So I can relate a little bit, Don. So, you know, I don't want to call it a hate relationship, but, you know, there was just simply a great of, yeah, the decline in the need to, or the wanting to do these meetings, you know, it was just no interest anymore. You know, this can just suddenly drop, not being interested. You know, there's just an innocent prioritizing time to do other stuff, you know, with work or whatever, you know, maybe some art or, you know, instead of spending time and doing Zoom meetings. So like spending time and prioritizing time is just innocently this. Like Garrett was saying last week, you know, my right hand is moving more to the football, you know, instead of the non-duality channel. Yeah, this may happen just simply, you know, or maybe Gillian wants to do the knitting, you know, I do knitting or drawing or whatever. I'm sick with this talking about nothing.
But in a way, we are not talking about nothing. We're just talking. We're just blabbering. I love it. We're sharing stories or not stories. This is so beautiful. We're not talking about nothing.
No, we're talking about everything and nothing, whatever you want to call it. We're talking about talking. Just talking about talking. Talking about
Whatever is popping up.
about crying, yes. You know, about what I want to see Netflix. I think it's silly. Talking about how silly this is this already? Talking about that Netflix can be more interesting now than maybe the new series of the Vikings is coming.
Brother, you've mentioned Netflix several times. Maybe you should think about getting them as a sponsor.
Oh yeah, that would be a good idea. Well, I think they're not interested. But who knows? No, but it's, you know, here there's also a liking for Netflix. Innocent, you know, watching a series, just relaxing on the couch. Or a documentary or whatever. Yeah. There's nothing wrong. I mean, there's no difference between a Zoom meeting or Netflix. It can be quite more interesting to watch Netflix. I agree. Yeah. Anyone has something? Ghislaine, maybe. Ghislaine, sweetheart. Is there anything popping up there from Canada? Share with us, please.
I don't know. It is from Canada. Well, I don't know.
How's the weather there? Is the spring fully on?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's awesome. Yes. No, them. I'm listening to Don and
Chris, maybe.
yeah,
The guy
and
there.
the thing is that there is no one who wants an answer. That's it. The only bug is the so-called someone that has a life. There's only life. So, and life is boring or not, it's sunny or a cloud and everything, but it's not about us, me. That's it. But being the me is what it is, blah blah blah. But it's turned on itself, you know. This is the me mechanism that's looking for something else. There's nothing else. There's just boom.
Boom!
Where's my boom?
Well, that's the boom.
You won't
This
have a
was the boom,
for
Chris.
you.
This was the boom. Where is my
Where's
boom?
my
Is the
boom?
boom?
It's the boom.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear the boom.
But I heard
Oh.
it.
But you know, that's it, you know, and when I say there's
Won't hear it. The me won't hear anything. He's just looking for something else. He doesn't listen.
this is not it. Well, this is not it. Is this? God damn. Still, I don't feel it. That's it. Shit, I want it. That's it.
You already
It is.
dead.
It is.
Already
Yep.
that. Whatever is happening or not happening, longing, wanting, hoping, trying, is already just life, as Guylaine is saying, or justice. You can call this justice, or you can call it life or energy. You know, here there's a preference, so to say there's justice. But you can say there's just life.
You are not involved in anything.
No.
There's just what is. That's very freeing.
Yeah,
There's
and
nothing to
yeah.
look for.
And even the idea that you are involved, there's already no you involved in that. The idea it's about me is already me-less. Already. Nothing is excluded.
It's like so free that there's an enjoyment because you're not in there. So whatever is happening, it's just freely happening like a gift. A gift to be boring or a gift to be Netflix or anything. It's a gift. It comes from nowhere and it's going nowhere. So that's fun.
Mm.
I like the accent. It's such, you know, I just instantly fall in love with the voice.
Yeah, totally. Me too. From the very beginning, I
Yeah.
love Gillette's voice.
You know, there's
It's
nothing
Yeah.
about it. You know, it's, you know, that's just what's happening, and that's expressing is it already, you know? Boom. Love
You've got the voice for the guided meditations.
This friend, and the playfulness and the movements and the laughter. Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, am I still here? We're gonna have to drive. Hi, we lost. Oh, sorry. Well, I've decided, so I'm on the meeting, but I'm also watching Netflix at the same time.
Great.
As an experiment. And it's much easier to hear this message when I'm watching Netflix. So it's a beautiful experiment. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you share what you are watching, or is it something you don't want to share?
It's called The Chosen. It's on Netflix. It's very beautiful.
The Chosen.
Oh, Don, you're killing me. I love it. You're so creative, boy. Awesome.
You know, because it's like, if I'm watching Netflix and listening to this, the message, my mind is already engaged in the movie. So there's less resistance.
Bye, Adar.
To listening here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, trying to do things at the same time and to see how that will work out. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So I really want to thank you, everybody. Lovely. Thanks for the openness. Mark is gone already, but yeah. Mark, beautiful. Elan, Chris, nice to see you again.
Hi.
Garrett.
Thank you, Sander.
See
Thank
y'all.
you.
Also, Michael.
Thank you, Sander.
I'm very happy that you continue to do the show. I love it, sweetheart.
Well,
Please
let's
keep
see.
on going. Keep on going.
Maria, Dawn, enjoy
Thank you.
The Chosen One, my friend. Elan, Albert, Michael, brother. I hope I didn't miss anyone.
See you, Michael. See you, Dan.
Good night,
Chris.
sweethearts.
Good
Love
night,
ya.
everybody.
See you, Rosa. We'll talk later. Bye.
Yeah.